And this evening, as we bring you top stories from around the world, our focus will be on the custodial torture in Tamil Nadu. We'll show you the video of a young man dragged and beaten by the police there. Next, from West Bengal, we will tell you how Monojit Mishra, one of the accused in the gang rape case, held a position in the law college where this incident took place despite being a history cheater. Now, another lapse has come as far as Air India is concerned, a shocking mid-air drop. We'll tell you and the details about this and get you more expert analysis on that as well. Now, after that, we will bring you a Republic TV exclusive reportage which uncovers major lapses in Karnataka's caste census, fake data, no door-to-door survey whatsoever. And in Thailand, a leaked audio clip has led to suspension of the Thailand Prime Minister. And finally, India's naval firepower gets a big boost. INS Tamal has been commissioned in Russia. These are the top 6 stories that we are tracking for you this evening. Let's get started. In fact, the first story we are tracking for you is from Tamil Nadu. We'll start by showing you the video of the brutal assault of a temple guard who was tortured to death in the police custody in Tamil Nadu. Now, the video will shock you and you should watch this. The video shows cops kicking, dragging and beating the 27-year-old Ajith Kumar outside the lockup. The police, which was supposed to only interrogate the accused, took him outside the lockup, circled around him and beat him up. Postmortem report has showed external injuries on Ajith's body. 5 policemen have been arrested so far in this case, but questions are being raised on the role of the senior officer. Why was the superintendent of police of that area only transferred by the BJP? This is a question that BJP is asking. They have asked for that resignation of the chief minister. And in fact, the political pressure forced him to address a press conference today. Listen in to this templated response from the chief minister.
வந்தோடனே ஆக்ஷன் எடுத்துட்டுமே வந்தோம் எங்களுக்கு எப்போ தகவல் தெரிஞ்ச உடனே நடவடிக்கை எடுத்தாச்சு, கைது பண்ணியாச்சு. இன்னைக்கு கூட மேலதிகாரிகள் மீது நடவடிக்கை எடுத்திருக்கிறோம். வந்தோடனே ஆக்ஷன் எடுத்துட்டுமே வந்தோம் எங்களுக்கு எப்போ தகவல் தெரிஞ்ச உடனே நடவடிக்கை எடுத்தாச்சு, கைது பண்ணியாச்சு. இன்னைக்கு கூட மேலதிகாரிகள் மீது நடவடிக்கை எடுத்திருக்கிறோம்.
In Tamil Nadu, we don't have right to raise our voice. We don't have a right to raise our voice. Whether a democratic procedure is followed by the state government, I don't know. They are giving permission for their alliance partners, but they are not giving permission for our opposition partners. Political parties, highly condemnable. We are unable to raise our voice. All our voice are crushed in Tamil Nadu. Why can't they give permission? We want to raise our voice against the atrocities and the foul language used by the leader Raja. How can they mention such words? So it is disheartening to be in Tamil Nadu like this.
Let me go across to Apsara Reddy from AIADMK. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. We've seen that footage, a very shocking one that has come to the fore as far as this custodial torture is concerned. BJP is calling this a custodial murder. But Chief Minister is saying that action has been taken, suspensions have been made, arrests have been done. But according to you, is this enough?
Not at all. Look at the tone and tenor of the sitting Chief Minister. When he was the opposition leader, when Satankulam happened, he was out in the streets placarding all kinds of slogans. In Satankulam case, there was a CBI arrest that was ordered. There were arrests instantly made. It was handed over to CBI. And the Chief Minister then, Edappadi Palaniswamy, swung into action. Here, the FIR is filed late when the theft happened. The autopsy report has been bungled. Then this person, the Ajith Kumar in question, has been moved around for 2 days where he doesn't get captured by CCTV. Police are beating him with iron rods. The Stalin government has only arrested 5 junior officers. Why are the junior officers being made a scapegoat of? What about the senior head? Why is the DGP not coming out and speak up? The DGP should resign, and Stalin has any moral responsibility with elections coming up. He should be at the top of his game with the police department functioning under the chief minister. He is the home minister too of the state. It's absolutely appalling. The court had to give them a rap for them to before they woke up and actually even came and gave out a press conference. Stalin is an inefficient chief minister. It's a sleeping model under the chief minister of Tamil Nadu. The government is not called Dravidian model. It's a sleeping model under Stalin, and he doesn't know how to handle the police. Absolute ludicrous arguments coming in from the PMK spokespersons across media networks justifying the action taken of suspending 5 junior officers. What about the DGP? What about his son, the Deputy Chief Minister, Udaygiri? Has he gone and visited Ajith Kumar's family? Everybody, the CM is going for and watching VIP previews of big stars and watching films of his son and going to high-profile shows in Dubai and watching chess competitions from premium galleries. What about going and visiting Ajith Kumar's family? What about taking immediate action against police brutality? You can't allow Khaki to go rogue, Khaki to become such cruel, Khaki to take a cruel form like this and sit watching like a lame duck.
Absolutely. So AIADMK also there saying that mere suspension or transfer or arrest of the officials is not enough. There needs to be accountability. Thank you so much, Bam, for speaking to Republic TV. Now let's take you to the state of West Bengal. 6 FIRs, one name, Monojit Mishra, assault, molestation, death threats. These are the charges spanning 10 years, and yet Monojit continued to hold a position in Calcutta Law College. Now he has been removed from that post, but only after massive outrage. Republic TV has accessed not just one but 6 FIR that show a clear pattern of the violence. This was not the first time Monojit assaulted and molested a girl in West Bengal, and as the probe in this case continues, police has also found blood-stained bedsheet at the spot where the gang rape took place. Questions are now being asked. Who backed Monojit Mishra? Was it TMC, as the Bharatiya Janata Party has claimed? Why was nothing done for so long? Let me now take you through several cases that have been filed against Monojit Mishra in the last 10 years. Details are there on the screen that you can in fact see you. The first case was filed in 2014, as you can see. This was the first file, and the police station is Alipur in Calcutta. The allegation, as you can see, is assault. Let's show you the second case as far as Monojit Mishra is concerned. This was 3 years later in 2017. Kasba police station. Now, this is the same police station where this present case has been registered. The allegation is assault and threat. The next one, 2 years later, police station Anandpur in Calcutta. The allegation is blocked and threatened students in college. So he was still part of the law college where this incident took place. 2022, molestation and assault. So he was a history cheater, and these FIR clearly show you that. Let's move on to another, FIR against him. 2023, just 2 years back, Kasba police station. So many cases in that specific police station, and the allegation is assault. In 2024, this is another police station in South Calcutta, another allegation of assault as far as Monojit Mishra is concerned. And these are, in fact, all the FIRs that have been registered against Monojit Mishra in the last 10 years, and the pattern remains the same: molestation and assault. Let me go across to my colleague Bhaskar, who continues to track this story very closely. Bhaskar, we have seen that in the last 10 years, as we were telling our viewers, there have been multiple cases against him as far as molestation and assault are concerned. Still, he was part of that law college. What explains this, and who is shielding Monojit Mishra? Give us more details about the probe in this case.
एब्सोल्युटली आकांक्षा, देखिए इसके पहले भी 6 FIR दर्ज हो चुका था मनोजित मिश्रा के खिलाफ, जिसके अंदर एलिगेशंस ऐसे थे कि ये मनोजित मिश्रा ने आशिक इकबाल हो या फिर कोई दूसरे को जान से मारने का धमकी दिया है, या फिर मॉलेस्टेशन किया है, या फिर फिजिकल असॉल्ट किया है। लेकिन एक बात तो साफ है, कलकत्ता पुलिस के पास इतना हिम्मत नहीं था कि मनोजित मिश्रा के खिलाफ कोई सख्त कदम उठा लिए। और देखिए, ये मनोजित मिश्रा, ये जो रूलिंग पार्टी तृणमूल कांग्रेस, इनकी जो स्टूडेंट्स विंग TMCP, तृणमूल कांग्रेस छात्र परिषद, ये छात्र परिषद के एक लीडर थे। पर सिर्फ यही नहीं, बहुत लोगों का ये मानना है कि तृणमूल कांग्रेस के काफी सारे सीनियर लीडर्स के ब्लेसिंग्स सीनियर लीडर्स के साथ इस मनोजित मिश्रा के साथ है। इसीलिए 6 FIR दर्ज होने के बाद भी मनोजित मिश्रा के खिलाफ कोई सख्त कार्रवाई हो नहीं पाया। और अभी तक देखिए, जो आपको आज की अपडेट बता दूं, कॉलेज की तरफ से गवर्निंग बॉडी मीटिंग हो चुका है, और मीटिंग से ये डिसीजन लिया गया है कि मनोजित को जो उसका जो जॉब था साउथ कलकत्ता लॉ कॉलेज के अंदर ही, कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल जॉब, उससे उसको निकाल दिया गया है, और साथ ही साथ और 2 एक्यूज को भी रस्टिकेट कर दिया गया। लेकिन सवाल कुछ और है। जहां तक कॉलेज अथॉरिटी की बात है, कॉलेज अथॉरिटी के पास पहले से ये जानकारी थी कि मनोजित मिश्रा किस किस्म का लड़का है, और इसके खिलाफ काफी सारे एलिगेशंस भी थे। उसके बावजूद कॉलेज की तरफ से इसको नौकरी दिया गया और कॉलेज की तरफ से भी कोई कदम नहीं लिया गया कि मनोजीत को रोका जाए। मनोजीत के खिलाफ इसके
Absolutely,
पहले
Bhaskar.
और एक
So in
बार
the
बता
last
दूं,
10
जैसे
years,
हम लोग स्क्रीन पे
6
दिखा रहे हैं कि
cases against
6
Monojit
FIR
Mishra, and one thing remains common. Assault as well as the molestation of the girls. Keep tracking that story very closely, Bhaskar. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this. Now let's tell you about another Air India technical snag that has come to the fore, and this will shock you. Delhi to Vienna AI 187 reported major technical issue in the aircraft, and as it dropped from 900 feet. The aircraft consisted of 242 passengers, and now DGCA has waded in and has ordered investigation into this. Pilot as well as security chief of that aircraft has been summoned to appear in front of the regulator, and also Air India top brass did not report to the regulators about this incident even after 38 hours of the AI 171 crash in which 100 of people died. This matter was reported to DGCA by one of the passengers who was traveling in that aircraft. Now let me take you through what lapses DGCA has found so far as the total investigation in this is concerned. Let me show you the details about the DGCA investigation. They have conducted investigation on several fleet of Air India, and let me show you what have they found so far. There are 5 major points that we will be telling you. The first one is recurring technical faults in their Air India flights. Same defect reported 15 times in one aircraft is what DGCA has learned. No action, no fixing the fault. This is what has been found so far. The other lapse that DGCA has found is expired equipments on board, and in the last few months DGCA has given several show cause notices to Air India regarding this specific point, but nothing has been done so far. Expired emergency exit slides which were also seen. The third one, in fact, lives have been put on risk is what DGCA had also said. Airline claim data oversight. This is another lapse that has come to the fore. Let's now tell you about the safety culture which is under fire, and this is what the DGCA has said. They said that multiple instances, despite intense vigil, and there have been safety culture which is under fire. Aircraft with defects allowed despite tight surveillance. So without any surveillance, the aircraft are let to fly is what DGCA has said. There's a disconnect between, and this point is very important, Air India and its engineering arm. There's a complete disconnect is what has been found in this very crucial inspection. Let's tell you now more about the major monitoring gaps, what DGCA has found. Physical inspection mismatch with the digital record. So there is a mismatch between their own details log. Dog found under aircraft at the airport, and this has come to the fore when DGCA team was there at the spot to inspect their Air India fleet. And airport safety shocker is basic safety and parameter control not followed by Air India whatsoever. And last month, in fact, we see that tragic plane crash in Gujarat. Let me go across to our aviation expert, J.S. Bajpai. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. Sir, how do you see this? Because what we are learning as far as this case is concerned, that there was a drop of 900 meter as far as Air India is concerned. How shocking is it? And how would you assess the situation, and what do you think would have led to that?
Ma'am, whatever points you have brought out in your news just now, all those points are absolutely correct. The most important point over there is the culture, in particular flight safety culture, which is the sole responsibility of Flight Safety Department of Air India. Now I will come back on the particular flight which you have mentioned. It was on 14 June, Delhi-Vienna flight. Aircraft had rolled out perfectly all right, but on approximately 2,500 feet, which is a crucial phase of the flying. There it seems there was a turbulence. Normally such situation takes place in case of any CB cloud or any other weather phenomena. So I am very sure pilot should have checked the weather pattern over there. His weather radar must be on, and it seems there was some turbulence which had resulted in the speed drop and stick shaker, and pilot should have corrected this situation. I have been given to understand the concerned pilot has been grounded. Investigation is on. So these things speaks the safety culture prevailing as on date in Air India. I have been given to understand the SMS department over there is doing a very good job. However, the safety team, they have to pull up their shocks and they have to improve the situation. It could have been very disastrous.
Absolutely, 900 feet drop mid-air could have been disastrous. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. And now we are shifting our focus to the state of Karnataka. Republic TV has exposed the biggest shocker in Karnataka's caste census survey that is currently underway. In Bengaluru, the revenue staff was found sticking survey completed labels on home without even speaking to the residents whatsoever. No verification, no interaction, no protocol followed. In fact, exclusive documents and visuals accessed by Republic TV has raised questions on the entire exercise. If data was flawed, how valid is the census? Now, the survey started in May earlier this year, and this, as per the government, 100 crore will be spent on this entire exercise. This expose that you can see on the screen goes on to show how the public money is being spent on the survey, which is being done half-heartedly, as you can see in the visuals, without even speaking to the residents. These people on the screen that you can see are going from home to home, and they are pasting survey completed notice there. 100 crore spent on this, and this is what we are seeing. Let me go across to my colleague Abhishek, who joins us live in the broadcast with more details. Abhishek, this is very shocking because without even speaking to the residents there, they are pasting survey completed on several homes without any checks, without speaking to them. And what we are learning is that 100 crore will be spent on this entire exercise. Is this not the waste of public money?
This seems like another scam in the state of Karnataka, Akanksha, because the BBMP and the state government were supposed to conduct the caste census based on the locality, based on the ward, based on the Vidhana Parishad Assembly, based on the Vidhana Sabha Assembly. So the protocol that they had to follow is visit to each and every house, take their names, take their age, take their caste, take their education, put this all details on the paper or the format which they have been provided with. However, we have clearly shown on our screens to the viewers how this caste census is actually taking place. The staff run to the house, they paste the placard in front of the house, then they shift their attention to another house. The target of these staff is to complete pasting all the posters on the houses of various other people, click a picture of that and send it to their superior officer and show that they have completed their target of pasting the posters on the walls of various other houses. When Republic team questioned CM Siddaramaiah about this, he very clearly negates from whatever we have told him. He also says that he will not believe a journalist. He will not give a heed to the question of a journalist because he himself wanted to witness that. Despite showing him the visual of people or the staff running away after pasting those posters on the walls of the houses, he doesn't want to react or comment on the issue what we have shown as of now. So basically, this might be another type of scam which is started by the government of Karnataka for the people of Karnataka by using their own money. So the people of Karnataka might have to revolt once again with respect to the caste census, whatever is being taken out by the Karnataka government as of now. Akanksha.
Well, absolutely. Despite being shown this video, the Chief Minister has refused to respond on this. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for tracking that story. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this. Now, shifting our focus to Thailand. It is once again gripped by political uncertainty as the Prime Minister has been suspended from her duties following a leaked phone call with a senior Cambodian politician, causing massive protests against her in the country. In the controversial call, she appeared to criticize a top Thai army commander, a move seen by many as crossing a political red line in the country where the military holds significant influence. Here's much more on that.
A leaked phone call and a political firestorm has put Thailand's PM under political scanner as PM Shinawatra has been suspended from her duties. It all started with a leaked phone call, which has now sparked an absolute furor in the region, with scores of people taking to the streets of Bangkok. The controversy erupted when Thai PM criticized top Thai army commander with a Cambodian politician. Soon after this controversy, people in large numbers started to protest against the Thai PM, with many accusing her of compromising the country's interest. Following the crisis, the Prime Minister issued statements where she stated, and I quote, "My real intentions over 100%. I wanted to protect the interests of the country, to protect our sovereignty, to protect the lives of all our soldiers, to bring peace to the country. I'm very confident about that, but my methods might have pleased some and upset some."
ว่าความตั้งใจเจตนาจริงๆเกิน 100% เนี่ยว่าดิฉันตั้งใจทำเพื่อประเทศชาติเพื่อรักษาไว้ซึ่งอธิปไตยของเราเพื่อรักษาไว้ซึ่งชีวิตของกองทัพของทหารทุกๆคนเพื่อสันติภาพนะคะที่จะเกิดขึ้นในประเทศของเรานะคะดิฉันมั่นใจในสิ่งนี้มากๆแต่วิธีการที่ดิฉันทำเนี่ยอาจจะถูกใจและไม่ถูกใจใคร
Following after, the Constitutional Court took cognizance of the situation and suspended the PM.
Now let's get you a good news. India is all set to bolster its naval strength with the commissioning of its latest warship, INS Tamal, in Russia today. Armed with the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, the state-of-the-art vessel marks a major milestone for the Indian Navy. INS Tamal comes with the surface-to-surface missile, 100 mm advanced gun and a quick attack anti-submarine rockets as well. Watch these visuals as I say goodbye.
In Indian mythology, Indra is the lord of thunder, lightning, and war. In the vast seas, his legendary weapon rises as a new warrior, INS Tamal. Second of the Tushil class, she is our 8th stealth frigate from Russia. Forged in the renowned Yantar shipyard, Tamal is a symbol of both a strategic partnership and Atmanirbhar Bharat. As the ship took shape, so did her crew. Established at Karwar in July 2024, Team Tamal undertook pre-deployment specialist training. Alongside, they set the standard and forged a spirit of camaraderie, transforming them into a credible, cohesive unit.
Tamal, Russian hull, Indian soul.
In February 2025, they traveled to Russia to commence rigorous theory and practical systems training. Tamal's BrahMos missiles enable engaging of targets at sea and land. The indigenous Hamsa NG sonar enables long-range detection of submarines. Ensuring the kill are Tamal's heavyweight torpedoes. A 12-barrel rocket launcher provides critical rapid attack capability.
हमेशा
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be on your channel and particularly on the digital part of your amazing network. I've served in several Islamic countries, including several years in Sudan, which had Sharia law when I was there. And somebody even issued a fatwa against me, whatever that meant. Question here is, what does this Ayatollah, Grand Ayatollah, whatever titles they give each other, Supreme Ayatollah, or Major Ayatollah, or Captain Ayatollah, or General Ayatollah, I don't know what they go around doing with themselves. What has he said against Netanyahu and President Trump? Has he said they should be killed? No, if he's the enemy of Allah, does it mean that somebody should take a pot shot at him? I'm not quite sure what it means. If they're trying to be oversmart, these jokers in in Iran who have issued whatever they have issued against this guy. See, my understanding of fatwa, I spoke to many Islamic scholars, and I've spoken again to them. A fatwa is a religious opinion, an opinion on a religious issue. For example, can I wear a striped shirt? And somebody might issue a fatwa saying, yes, it's legal in Islam. So it's a very complicated issue. But in recent times, we've been finding people issuing fatwas asking for the physical elimination of the people against whom the fatwa has been issued. This hadn't been done. In fact, funnily enough, it might amuse you, there used to be a fatwa against Coca-Cola also, because that drink is supposed to have gas or all kinds of things, and it uses some pigment or the other, uses something related to the pig, which is haram in Islam, so don't drink Coca-Cola. Then somebody issued a counter fatwa saying there's nothing wrong with that. Then there was the Ottoman chap when he was joining the war against the Allies in the First World War on the side of Germany. He got someone to issue a fatwa. So a fatwa normally would be issued by a mufti, a very qualified chap. Again, there's no list of fellows who can issue fatwas. Even Osama bin Laden issued a fatwa against somebody, and then somebody issued a fatwa against Osama bin Laden. So it became a bit of a joke over a period of time. My own feeling is that if the fatwa declares Trump to be the enemy of Allah, I think in the United States, having lived there for several years and going there every year, I don't think they'll even bother about it. Now, if some buffoon there thinks that this means that he has to physically harm the President of the United States, then of course it's a different matter altogether.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
When the United States sent B-2 bombers to hit Iran's underground nuclear facilities with their most powerful bunker buster bombs, the whole world was watching. And now, while everyone has been talking about that, India has been quietly working on its own solution to the underground bunker problem. And our approach is completely different. Well, India's Defence Research and Development Organization, the DRDO, is developing the conventional Agni 5 variant with a 7.5-ton bunker buster warhead that is capable of penetrating 80 to 100 meters underground before actually detonating. And unlike the nuclear-capable Agni 5, which has a range of about 5,000 to 8,000 kilometers, this version of Agni sacrifices the range for its payload, and that is limited to about 2,000 to 2,500 kilometers due to the heavier warhead that it will be carrying. The Agni 5's development cost was approximately $292 million, with each missile of the Agni 5 costing around $6 to $8 million US. See, the bunker buster variant's cost is not public, but estimates suggest that a 10 to 20% increase has been there due to specialized warheads and guidance systems. Potentially, that's about a $7 to $10 million per missile. So at this price, how does India's bunker buster compare to what the big players already have? The United States uses the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, a 13.6-ton bomb that is delivered by B-2 bombers, costing about $3.5 million per unit. It can penetrate up to 60 meters of concrete. Russia's KAB-1500L can penetrate 20 meters and is cheaper at roughly about $1 million per bomb, and that's deployed via aircraft. China's YJ-21 hypersonic missile with a limited bunker busting capability costs an estimated about $2.2 to $3 million, while India's missile-based approach is unique, offering flexibility over air-delivered systems. Hi there, welcome to 6:30 PM live and breaking in Bengal as investigation picks pace. The reason why it might not lead anywhere comes out. Another TMC leader, a minister in Mamata government, makes yet another insensitive remark, perhaps an indication of the kind of patronage that the accused really enjoyed or even now enjoy. All that and more. Let's begin with the headlines. Republic investigation uncovers alleged TMC link with Kolkata rape case accused. Call for justice grows for Kolkata gang rape survivor. Protests against Mamata government in Kolkata. After video proof of custodial torture of Ajith Kumar, Madurai bench orders judicial probe. Tribunal observes RCB primarily responsible for Bengaluru Stadium stampede.
We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible?
The Indian Navy The Indian Navy will formally commission its latest stealth frigate, INS Tamal, in a ceremony. In fact, it did commission it at a ceremony today at Kaliningrad, Russia. The event marked a significant milestone as INS Tamal is set to become the last of the foreign-built warships to be inducted into the Indian Navy in line with the government's push towards indigenous defense manufacturing under the Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India initiative. So the commissioning was presided over by Vice Admiral Sanjay Jay Singh, Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief of Western Naval Command, as the chief guest, and will be attended by senior Indian and Russian defense officials. INS Tamal is the second of the Tushil class frigates and the eighth ship in the broader Krivak class series sourced from Russia over the last 2 decades. These are pictures from Kaliningrad of the ceremony where INS Tamal was commissioned into the Indian Navy. And these pictures, the handing over ceremony from the Russians to the Indian Navy, and Admiral Singh taking their charge. The ship is going to be commanded by Captain Sridhar Tata. He's a gunnery and missile warfare specialist. And Tamal is, as I mentioned, eighth of the multi-role stealth frigates in the series that have been commissioned by India from the Russian Krivak class, and this is going to be the sword arm of Indian Navy under the Western Naval Command. INS Tamal is going to join the Western Naval Command. The first ship of Tushil class was commissioned in December of 24, and that was in the presence of Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. But now you're seeing the ceremony, and this marks the formal induction of INS Tamal into the Indian Navy. The ceremony was kicked off with a guard of honor comprising personnel from the ship's crew and Russia's Baltic naval fleet. The ceremony was declared open by Andrei Sergeyevich Puchkov. He is the Director General of the United Shipbuilding Corporation, the firm which has made this warship. And then we had some inaugural speeches being made, and this was followed by the address of senior Russian government officials and, of course, Vice Admiral R. Swaminathan. These are more pictures of the ceremony. And can we cut to the nat sounds, listen to what's happening there? All right, we'll get the nats in a bit, but basically this is the commissioning ceremony taking place of INS Tamal. being the All right, BrahMos capable, BrahMos fitted INS Tamal with 26% indigenous component, of course, built at a Russian dockyard, but with a lot of Atmanirbhar indigenous component there, and the ceremony taking place in Kaliningrad, Russia, from where we are getting these pictures there, the ceremony, the joint ceremony between the Russian side and the Indian side, and chief guest of the occasion was Vice Admiral Sanjay Jasjeet Singh, and this happens to be the 51st warship which India has taken from the Russians, bought from the Russians over the last 5 or 6 decades. All right, that's the ceremony taking place of INS Tamal's induction, formal commissioning into the Indian Navy. In fact, still staying with the Navy, but to another story, which is that the Indian Navy has pulled off a daring firefighting and rescue operation, saving 14 Indian crew members and their life from a major fire aboard a Palau-flagged tanker in the North Arabian Sea. Quick thinking, rapid deployment, and courageous action from INS Tabar once again reinforced India's position as the first responder in the Indian Ocean region. These are pictures again coming in of the rescue act of the Navy, with INS Tabar reaching the spot after distress calls. All 14 crew members were of Indian origin, though it's a Palau flagged merchant vessel. And the firefighting on display using the helicopter on the INS Tabar. India's naval personnel and the firefighters on board reached the ship and rescued those on board first. All the 14 Indian nationals are said to be safe and evacuated, and this firefighting operation completely dousing the fire. All right, moving on, still with some more Navy news coming in a major thrust to Atmanirbharta, Udaygiri, the second warship of the Project P-17A, Nilgiri class stealth frigates designed by Warship Design Bureau of Indian Navy, overseen by the Warship Overseeing Team Mumbai and built by Mazagaon Docks, Mumbai, was delivered to the Indian Navy. That's also today in Mumbai. So while we had one warship joining Indian Navy in Kaliningrad, Russia, and the other one happening in Mumbai, India's naval might getting more muscle. This is a watershed moment for the Navy, as the Udaygiri is the 100th ship
designed and delivered by the Warship Design Bureau. The warship is built with over 75% indigenous content and is equipped with state-of-the-art weapons and sensors. Udaygiri will boost the Indian Navy's combat readiness and blue water capability to safeguard our maritime interests in the Indian Ocean region. Another ship joining in, so effectively two major warships and frigates joining Indian Navy on the same day, one in Mumbai and the other in Russia, but essentially adding to India's seafaring capability, India's blue water naval strength, and of course both these ships would be joining the Western Naval Command as of now. INS Udaygiri and INS Tamal. All right, moving on to some political development, and absolutely unacceptable and very shameful statement coming in from TMC Minister Manas Ranjan Bhunia, where he has gone ahead to trivialize the rape cases happening in the state and said that if a small incident happens, a fuss is made out of it. Trinamool minister calling rape a small incident. Repeated rapes in Bengal and repeated connections emerging with the ruling party of patronage, of direct links, and now after Kalyan Banerjee and Madan Mitra, another minister, Bhunia, calling rape a small matter. Can we listen to him, what he's saying?
আর বাংলার দিকে তাকান, ছোট্ট একটা ঘটনা ঘটলেই গেল 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 রে, কি সর্বনাশ। হ্যাঁ, ঘটনা তো ঘটে, নিজের ফ্যামিলিতে ঘটে। হাজবেন্ড ওয়াইফকে মেরে দিচ্ছে বালিশ চাপা দিয়ে, ওয়াইফ প্রেমিকের সঙ্গে ঘুরতে গিয়ে বরকে ঠেলে দিচ্ছে পাহাড় থেকে। দিজ আর দ্য ক্রাইসিস অফ দ্য সোসাইটি। আর বাংলার দিকে তাকান, ছোট্ট একটা ঘটনা ঘটলেই গেল 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 রে, কি সর্বনাশ। হ্যাঁ, ঘটনা তো ঘটে, নিজের ফ্যামিলিতে ঘটে। হাজবেন্ড ওয়াইফকে মেরে দিচ্ছে বালিশ চাপা দিয়ে, ওয়াইফ প্রেমিকের সঙ্গে ঘুরতে গিয়ে বরকে ঠেলে দিচ্ছে পাহাড় থেকে। These are the crises of the society.
Bhaskar joins us live from Kolkata. Bhaskar, he's saying that this is crisis of the society, but then the government is supposed to handle crisis of the society. What's the Trinamool government doing there?
एब्सोल्युटली अभिषेक, देखिए जिस तरह से बंगाल की मिनिस्टर, तृणमूल के मिनिस्टर मनोज भूया ने आज ये कस्बा की जो गैंग रेप के एलिगेशन, गैंग रेप की घटना, इस घटना को छोटी घटना बताई। इसमें तो भाजपा के तरफ से और सारे विपक्ष दलों की तरफ से यही देख रहा है उन लोगों को कि ममता बनर्जी जिस तरह से सारे के सारे रेप की एलिगेशंस को छोटी घटना, वो कुछ नहीं है, वो एफआईआर था, ऐसे बोलती थी। अब उनके मिनिस्टर्स वैसे ही कस्बा की जो गैंग रेप की घटना, इस घटना को ऐसे वो बयां कर रहे हैं। देखिए जिस तरह से मनोज भैया ने ये दावा किया कि एक छोटी घटना है और इसको लेके बहुत शोर मचाया जा रहा है, फैमिली के अंदर भी ऐसा हो सकता है या फिर कोई घूमने गए थे वहाँ पे भी ऐसा हो सकता है, तो वो साफ तौर से कस्बा की जो गैंग रेप की घटना, इस घटना को बिल्कुल छोटी घटना के माफिक दिखाने चाहते हैं। और दूसरी तरफ ममता बनर्जी के सरकार के ऊपर ये सवाल भी अब आ रहे हैं कि अर्जीगढ़ के अभया की घटना के बाद ममता बनर्जी की पुलिस, ममता बनर्जी की एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आखिर क्या सबक सीखा था। एक इंस्टीट्यूशन के अंदर एक 19 साल की बच्ची की गैंग रेप की गई है और उसके ऊपर उनकी मिनिस्टर्स इसको छोटी घटना जैसे जो टर्म है, इस टर्म से बयां करने के लिए अब मजबूर बन रहे हैं। और ऊपर से देखिए गवर्निंग बॉडी का जो प्रेसिडेंट है वो भी तृणमूल कांग्रेस से, तृणमूल कांग्रेस के एमएलए है। उनके जब हम लोग उनसे सवाल पूछा कि कॉलेज अथॉरिटी की तरफ से आप बताइए आप लोग क्या स्टेप लिए थे, उनके पास भी कोई जवाब नहीं है। और देखिए एक तरफ ममता बनर्जी की सरकार पूरी तरह से फेलियर हो चुका है, ऐसा मानना है भाजपा जैसे विपक्ष दलों का। दूसरी तरफ ममता बनर्जी के मंत्री मनोज भूया कस्बा गैंगरेप की घटना को छोटी घटना जैसे काम से बयां करने में अब व्यस्त है।
बिल्कुल भास्कर, छोटी घटना है और समाज की घटना है, समाज की समस्या है, सरकार का इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं. That seems to be the drift of Mamata minister there in Kolkata. Moving on for now, big action in the Bikram Majithia drug money case. Remember, he was arrested by the Punjab government a couple of days back. Simultaneous raids on Majithia's hideouts in Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and Chandigarh being carried out by Punjab police because Punjab police believe that Bikram Majithia was running a drug cartel. Action is being taken on the basis of Majithia's identification and witnesses' statements, say police. These are pictures of the police raid being carried out at a place in Delhi. If we can get a reporter live, we'll have some information. We have Chandigarh correspondent Lalit Sharma joining us live. Lalit, where all are these raids taking place, and is the Punjab government of the view that this is a big syndicate that Bikram Majithia was running? Is this information coming in from Bikram Majithia's own interrogation?
If we talk about the Aam Aadmi Party government, especially the Bhagwant Mann, they are saying that Bikram Singh Majithia has been involved in the 540 crore disproportionate assets case. The case has been registered against that. But if you talk about the inputs, the sources, what they have been telling that from 2004 to 2017, there has been a drug cartel nexus which has been run from international areas, and Bikram Majithia was the one who was leading. So this is that money which has been used in that. So right now, the vigilance has registered a FIR in this fresh matter, and raids are being conducted all across the properties, whether it's in the native place in Amritsar Majitha area, or in the Delhi, or in the Chandigarh house, or in the Shimla where he has the property in Mashobra. So in number of places the raids have been conducted by the Vigilance Bureau. Apart from that, what we are also learning that in this whole matter, the national narcotics would also look after in the whole matter, and the investigation would still continue. Tomorrow, the matter would be again go to the hearing in the district court in Mohali. Back to the studio.
Okay, thank you so much, Lalit. With those details in the Bikram Majithia case, Punjab police pressing on the paddle in the investigations on a drug cartel, which they believe or alleged that Bikram Majithia was running. He, of course, was arrested a couple of days back. Moving on for now, another important breaking news development connected with the Ahmedabad air crash and the investigations and probes that are being carried out by the DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation. They have pulled up Air India after meeting CEO of the airline and other officials, and they have said that recurring technical defects raise alarm, and this is following a DGCA audit, after which a probe has been ordered. Further investigation into Air India 187 incident also. In one instance, the DGCA found that after repeated underscoring of one particular fault, the same defect reported 15 times, which means it was not being corrected. There was no action, no fixing the fault. And similarly, other scrutiny led to suggestion of a failure to conduct thorough root cause analysis or take preventive action in this particular case. The regulator is understood to have expressed grave concern over what appears to be a normalization of operating aircraft with known defects, which means that the DGCA, the regulator, was indicating towards some defects which had to be corrected, and for 15 times the same defect kept appearing or reappearing in the audit, and yet the airline let the aircraft pass, let the aircraft remain airborne despite the defect still being there. And multiple such instances, for example, in one case, expired emergency equipment found on board in a potentially life-threatening revelation, then basic safety and perimeter controls not followed, a dog was found underneath an aircraft, and then an aircraft was operated with expired emergency slides exposing passengers. Another one, DGCA has ordered probe in the AI 187 incident. which happened just a couple of days after the Ahmedabad AI-171 crash. In fact, in this particular case, this AI-187 Delhi-Vienna flight lost 900 feet mid-air, and that was not because of turbulence. And this was not brought to the notice of the DGCA by the airline, but by one of the scared passengers. This happened on June 14, which is just 2 days after, within 48 hours of the AI-171 incident. The regulator has reportedly taken serious note of the fact that despite heightened surveillance, aircraft were still allowed to operate with questionable readiness. All right, so DGCA now toughening its position on Air India. Hopefully the airline would pay heed to it this time in the interest of passenger safety. Moving on for now. Another breaking news. Trump going to United States. Donald Trump versus Elon Musk fight escalates. It's back on the boil after some truce, some ceasefire that had happened. But now even trade seems not to be bringing ceasefire between the estranged former first buddies. Donald Trump, Elon Musk fight back on the boil. Trump now says he will take a look when asked about deporting Elon Musk from the United States. Trump says Elon could lose a lot more than the EV mandate. Listen in.
Nothing, he's upset that he's losing his EV mandate, and he's very upset about things, but he could lose a lot more than that. I can tell you right now. Hey, Elon can lose a lot more than that. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem, it blows up,
Moving on, staying with some international news, Thailand is once again gripped by political uncertainty as Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra has been suspended from her duties following a leaked phone call with a senior Cambodian politician, causing significant civilian protest against her. In the controversial call, she appeared to be criticizing a top Thai army commander, a move seen by many as crossing a political red line in a country where the military holds significant influence. The Constitutional Court's decision came after a petition by 36 senators who accused the Prime Minister of breaching ethical conduct.
A leaked phone call and a political firestorm has put Thailand's PM under political scanner as PM Shinawatra has been suspended from her duties. It all started with a leaked phone call, which has now sparked an absolute furor in the region, with scores of people taking to the streets of Bangkok. The controversy erupted when Thai PM criticized top Thai army commander with a Cambodian politician. Soon after this controversy, people in large numbers started to protest against the Thai PM, with many accusing her of compromising the country's interest. Following the crisis, the Prime Minister issued statements where she stated, and I quote, "My real intentions over 100%. I wanted to protect the interests of the country, to protect our sovereignty, to protect the lives of all our soldiers, to bring peace to the country. I'm very confident about that, but my methods might have pleased some and upset some."
ว่าความตั้งใจเจตนาจริงๆเกิน 100% เนี่ยว่าดิฉันตั้งใจทำเพื่อประเทศชาติเพื่อรักษาไว้ซึ่งอธิปไตยของเราเพื่อรักษาไว้ซึ่งชีวิตของกองทัพของทหารทุกๆคนเพื่อสันติภาพนะคะที่จะเกิดขึ้นในประเทศของเรานะคะดิฉันมั่นใจในสิ่งนี้มากๆแต่วิธีการที่ดิฉันทำเนี่ยอาจจะถูกใจและไม่ถูกใจใคร
Following after, the Constitutional Court took cognizance of the situation and suspended the PM.
All right. Short break on the other side. Call for justice grows for Kolkata gang rape survivor. Protests erupt across Bengal. And after video proof of custodial torture of Ajith Kumar, Madurai bench orders judicial probe.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be on your channel and particularly on the digital part of your amazing network. I've served in several Islamic countries, including several years in Sudan, which had Sharia law when I was there. And somebody even issued a fatwa against me, whatever that meant. Question here is, what does this Ayatollah, Grand Ayatollah, whatever titles they give each other, Supreme Ayatollah or Major Ayatollah, or Captain Ayatollah or General Ayatollah, I don't know what they go around doing with themselves. What has he said against Netanyahu and President Trump? Has he said they should be killed? No, if he's the enemy of Allah, does it mean that somebody should take a pot shot at him? I'm not quite sure what it means. If they're trying to be oversmart, these jokers in Iran who have issued whatever they have issued against this guy. See, my understanding of fatwa, I spoke to many, many Islamic scholars and I've spoken again to them. A fatwa is a religious opinion, an opinion on a religion.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM. हर पल बनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Well, it's sad. And of course, it's now becoming the new common where we are seeing youngsters who look, completely fit, passing away suddenly. We cannot ignore that this rise has also been only after COVID infections and COVID pandemic. Number one. Number two, the point I want to say is anti-aging is basically a multi-pronged approach. Glutathione is the world's best known antioxidant. It is given for cancer patients so as to reduce the side effects of the chemotherapy agents. And the side effect of it is skin whitening and skin glow. It is not the main effect. So it is very, very good for health and it cannot be fatal unless and until the product is counterfeit. The product is fake. It's not being injected in the right dosage, which can also hamper, which I feel the Indian government is high time should take action if, this is the fact, because I see a lot of gray market fake products in the market, but I don't think our Bollywood would actually fall prey to it. But yes, again, we must not ignore there are a lot of wellness centers where there is no doctor. And these wellness centers are generally run by business houses. So they may not even be guided correctly and maybe buying it only for better business. So that is one thing which needs to be checked. The world's #1 anti-aging known factor currently, which is doing up the rounds with Barrick Johnson, etc., and Professor Sinclair in the US, is something called NAD, NAD drips. The NAD drips are being imported by certain people who can afford in India, but the ones in the market are generally
God dead after custodial torture by Tamil Nadu police. AIADMK questions talent model of governance. Is it time to take action on excesses of police? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
from Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thank you for joining us here on This Is Exclusive. It's 7 p.m. and on the show tonight, we are coming to you with 3 stories. The story that the entire country is talking about. We have visual proof of how a temple guard was tortured, killed in custody. Details coming up along with the Kolkata gang rape. Here are the headlines this evening. Five policemen suspended in Tamil Nadu over the death of a 29-year-old temple security guard Ajith Kumar in custody. CCTV footage shows a brutal assault on Ajith. Madras High Court pulls up the Tamil Nadu police and the state government over the custodial death case, calls the police drunk on power. Becoming increasingly clear now, Republic probing the political links of rape-accused Manojit Mishra, the prime accused in the Kolkata gang rape. A known history sheeter has a history of violence, intimidation, abusive conduct, was allowed to thrive on campus. How did a girl from Prayagraj end up in Kerala and was trained for jihad? More details on the Prayagraj abduction. And on top of 7 p.m, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first admission from the state government in Tamil Nadu which goes to polls. And that is why the Stalin government in Tamil Nadu has decided they can't hide the truth anymore. Stalin himself forced to dial the family of Ajith Kumar, the temple guard who was killed in custody. He spoke to the family. I have the video where Stalin is heard admitting. It's a mistake. Stalin before election saying it's a mistake and that his government cannot justify what has happened. There's a full video that has been released by Stalin himself as the brutality, details of which were public. As the videos emerged, Stalin forced to dial the family, forced to admit that it was a mistake by his government and his police force. We have the video. I'd like to play the video of the family speaking to MK Stalin, and I'll go across to Sharada as well. We have a video with the translation of MK Stalin, the state chief minister in Tamil Nadu, speaking to the family. On the left of your screen, that's the video of Stalin speaking to the family. We have a translation as well. I'll play the video out and we can get Sharada to confirm that Stalin has admitted it's a mistake. Sharada, over to you.
Well, the conversation that the MK Stalin had with the mother states that it was a mistake from the side of the police, and he also said that whatever has happened and that he cannot do anything about it but only take action and arrest them. While it might sound saying that the Chief Minister Stalin is taking an action, but it can be very evidently seen that the DMK is not taking any charge. DMK is not even saying that there will be a stern action taken against this. We can see him explaining to Naveen, that is Ajith Kumar's brother, saying that he will make sure that the arrest is there, but he is not even confirming that there will be proper punishment given. So this shows how the DMK is taking over the case and how diligent they are to not make sure that they will not take, they will not be taking responsibility for the 25 custodial deaths, including Ajith Kumar. And this right happening before the elections is to make sure that the DMK can, what has happened in the law and order of the Tamil Nadu in the last 4 years, Niranjan.
And that's the first bit of breaking news. And all of this is happening because there is a national debate as more and more pressure is put, as more details are emerging, as video proof is out this evening. And that's my second part of the story this evening. We have accessed details of how brutal the assault was on the temple guard. Let me show you the video that has been released this evening. We've accessed that video that shows that temple guard Ajith Kumar was thrashed, 18 injuries on his body, and there is video proof that shows the custodial killing. Even the court has said that they were drunk on power. Look at that video. That's either a lathi or a plastic object that he's holding it in his hand, and he's thrashing Ajith Kumar. Look at that. It's out on video. It's caught on CCTV. It's not a CCTV video. It appears like it's a mobile video that has been shot by someone else of the torture, of the brutal custodial handling of this temple guard. 18 injuries on his body. Can you confirm this? Or is it, how bad was the thrashing that was given by the police? Because even the police has been pulled up, Sharda. Take us through the details of the injuries that he suffered, what we know so far.
Well, Niranjan, as you mentioned, the video shows how he was charged by Lati, by the police officials there. Though it has been mentioned on the post-mortem report that it was 18 external injuries, we have also learned that there are 44 internal injuries that Ajith had suffered. Also, there's more important thing is that he was given chili powder when he was being questioned by the police. So when he had asked for water, he was stuffed with chili powder inside his mouth, is what we have learned. The post-mortem report also shows that there is dried blood around his ears, which shows that he was beaten badly by the police around his neck and spine, which led to an epilepsy, making him falling unconscious at the moment.
Okay, the third bit of breaking that I have with me right now on the show that also confirms the state complicity. I have the third bit of breaking news details of how the state government then perhaps tried to cover up. This is the third breaking news update that I have. Details of the DMK government's complicity. This is an exclusive input for the first time. We've accessed details of how they tried to cover up. The head constable in this particular case, the head constable's name was Kannan. And the head constable was from a special force from Manamadurai DSP. And according to the details we picked up, and Sharda has the details, she says that he should not have come to investigate this case as it took place under the Sivaganga limit. Case was under Sivaganga limit. And this shows that there is complete breaking of rules, breaking of the jurisdictional rules, illegal police handling of the case, interrogation itself being seen as a violation of rules. The police is from a different jurisdiction. He should not have even been a part of the special team that investigated the case. Then who brought him in? Who brought him in, Sharda, and why was he brought in? What does this prove?
Well, what we have learned, Niranjan, is that the complainant was given by a DMK functionary's relative, and that's what led to everything. So Ajith was initially let off by the police after making sure that whether the stolen jewelry was still with him or not, but later a special investigative team was formed. But still now the judges also has the same question: who formed the special investigative team? Who made these constables the head of this particular case? Because the Kannan, the head constable that you mentioned, is from a different jurisdiction. He does not even come in the Sivaganga district, but he belongs to Mana Madura district. So how was the special investigative team brought together is the question that the judge has also asked this, the SP of the district, and he had also asked why the SP was still in the continuous waiting list but not suspended directly. So now what we've got to get from this case is that the DMK played a role in this case, and they do have a hand in Ajith's custodial deaths, making sure that the police who was bought from another district to make sure that this jurisdiction which was not under him, and why the special investigative team was formed with the people who are related to the DMK family members.
Okay, I'm staying with those pictures. Let's once again stay full frame on the pictures of the assault. And as I stay with these pictures, just imagine this story, ladies and gentlemen, as a complaint is filed by the DMK. Let's say full frame on that. Complaint is filed by the DMK. Complaint is filed by the DMK, and then the DMK gets in the police of their choice. Police of their choice breaking jurisdictional boundaries so that their favorite police is investigating the case. And their favorite police is involved in this case because they can then easily manage the case. And he's tortured. And there were some brutal details that have emerged. Details of the torture. I want to quickly, Sharda, to summarize. I mean, we got some details of chili powder being used. Third degree torture being used by the police, that even the court has observed that the state government and the police was drunk on power. Take us through, finally, Sharda, in 30 seconds, details of the brutality and the torture in custody. We'll stay full frame on that video.
What you have to first notice is the torture was literally outside the temple. It was not done in the police station, which was the first. We can see how the police tried to make sure that this was not brought into the law books. It was exactly outside the law books because they made sure they took him to the cow shed, they took him near a lake and beaten him up there. Because we know that if it was happened inside a police station, there would be proof for it. This is what the police tried to do to hide what exactly happened to Ajith Kumar. If in case Naveen, Ajith's brother, would have not survived this, the entire case would have not come out. That is very evident with this particular case, and we can see. And it was only after the case was moved under the judicial court today, the video was given as proof by the police, and also the police states that the investigation team also stated that they were chosen by someone which is an unknown person that they don't even know. So we can completely see that this is DMK taking all hands over this particular case, making sure that this does not fall under any rules of the law.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs there. Sharda, tracking the story of Ajith Kumar, a temple guard being killed in custody. Killed because he was thrashed, he was tortured, and there is visual proof that is emerging that has forced the state government in Tamil Nadu to admit that yes, their police messed up, their state government messed up, and it was a mistake. The story is developing, story likely to dominate the discourse in the next few days of the state government handling. Even the court today saying that they're drunk on power. Let's move on now. And getting in some more details of the Kolkata gang rape case. Republic Bangla is leading the investigation into the patronage of this rape accused. As we look into more details, as we investigate more and more about the role of Manojit Mishra and the kind of political patronage that he enjoyed in Bengal, there are 4 or 5 bits of breaking news inputs that we have in the course of our investigation. Point number one, that he had strong support, possibly from the Trinamool Congress. We have also confronted a Trinamool Congress MLA who had gone to the college where the rape had taken place, where the rape was reported. And he also attended a meeting there, which was headed by Manojit. Manojit, according to reports, became more and more powerful under the patronage of this particular MLA of the Trinamool Congress. There are 4 or 5 bits of breaking news inputs that we have. I'd like to go across to Kishale, also joining us with the details. In fact, the details that we have, and we'll play the graphics out of the story that we have, the 4 or 5 breaking news inputs. Point number one, that Manojit was removed from his contractual position in the college where the rape was reported. And the other 2 accused had been rusticated. This was after the GB meeting. The second bit of breaking news input that we had is that the lawyers of the Alipur court earlier today also wrote to the Bar Council requesting that no lawyer should defend Manojit. And the third breaking news input that we had, that the bedsheet of the government hospital was found in the spot where the gang rape took place. According to sources, blood stains also on the bedsheet. Question is, how did the government hospital bedsheet end up in a law college? There are details that we're picking up on that front as well. We've confronted the Trinamool Congress MLA, and according to sources, Manojit voluntarily had taken up a low-paying contractual job in the college, which had a monthly payment of up to 5,000 rupees. And the reason why he continued to stay in that job is because he had influence. He stayed connected to the college to maintain that influence and maintain that political patronage that he had from, according to now, reports which have proven that he was close to the ruling Trinamool Congress in Bengal as well. And moving on to the third exclusive story, details of which we're picking up here on Republic TV. The Uttar Pradesh police in Prayagraj have arrested 2 suspects in the case of abduction and forced conversion of a 15-year-old Dalit girl. Now, how did a Dalit girl go all the way from Prayagraj? How was she abducted and taken to Kerala? Authorities say she was lured to Kerala under false pretense, coerced to convert and brainwashed and pushed into jihad. She received training in Kerala, according to the police, uncovering a wider terror module that, by the way, has been reported in Kerala in the past as well. She has been rescued and she's now under child welfare protection while multi-state teams investigate this network. This is the breaking news update that we had. Some pictures that we've also accessed. She went from This is a report that we accessed this evening. Let's play it out.
सपा की सरकार में लगभग 10-10, 15-15 लड़कियों को इसी तरह से धर्मांतरण के लिए उकसाया जाता था। केरल लेकर यहाँ से लोग गए थे, लेकिन अभी भी लगातार इस तरह के मामले यहाँ पर सामने आ रहे हैं। देखिए, उस जो पीड़िता है उसका मैं घर आपको दिखा रहा हूँ। लगातार दलित गरीब लोगों को कैसे ये टारगेट यहाँ पर करते थे, आप सोचिए। ये देखिए, कच्चे मकान मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ, कच्ची ईंट की दीवारें आप देखिए यहाँ पर लगी हैं, टीन शेड लगाए, खपड़ेल लगाए। भला ऐसे लोगों को टारगेट करते थे ये लोग, जो लोग इनके बहकावे में आ जाएं और फिर केरल का रुख करें जहां पर उन्हें नमाज पढ़ाई जा रही है, कैसे देश विरोधी गतिविधियों में शामिल हो, यह भी उन्हें बताया जा रहा है। फिलहाल देखिए, उस बच्ची के चाचा हमारे साथ हैं। क्या हुआ था सर पूरे मामले में और कैसे बच्ची यहां से लोग उसे बहका कर ले गए?
मामला ये है, जहाँ कन्हैया कोटेदार के जहाँ लड़की की शादी थी गेट हाउस में, और वहाँ गई, उसकी माँ भी गई, हमारे तीनों बच्चे गए और वहाँ दावत खाने लिए। वो बाकाई चलो फूलपुर घूम आए। फूलपुर ले जाने के बाद वो मस्जिद में लेके चली गई। वहाँ जो लच्छा पहरा जाता है हाथ में धागा, हाँ, उसको भी कटवा दिया, कहे आप मुस्लिम हो जाओ। और वहाँ जबरदस्ती उसको कार में बैठा करके लेके भाग गए इलाहाबाद। इलाहाबाद भाग गए। इलाहाबाद से जहाँ टिकट कटा के दिल्ली तक के बैठा दिया गाड़ी पे।
अच्छा, मतलब कि शादी में लेकर गए, उसके हाथ का रक्षा सूत्र जैसा मैंने पहना कटवा दिया गया, उसके बाद उसे केरल लेकर गए। लेकिन ये सब इतने दिनों से खेल चल रहा था, आप लोग को भनक नहीं लगी? घर में आप लोग रहते हैं।
भनक लगी थी जब मस्जिद में यहाँ पढ़ रही थी, जब मस्जिद में लेके गई 2 एक फेरे, तो हम लोग सुने तो अपनी लड़की को मारा, गरियाया और उसके बाद उसको भगाया। हम क्या मेरे घर मत आओ, तो कुछ दिन शांत थी। और वो शादी मौका पा गई, अकेले गई तीनों बहन, और वहाँ से लेके फरार हो गई।
अच्छा, क्या गांव के और लोगों को भी टारगेट किया जा रहा था?
गांव में कई केस कर दिया है, अभी मुकदमा लोगों को चल रहा है। उसके बाद जो यहाँ चूड़िया से पैसा ले करके उसके साथ शादी भी लड़की के अपने कर दिया वो। उसकी माँ ने वो उसका यही धंधा है, बेचने के धंधा है। और हिंदुओं के लड़कियन के ले जाकर नमाजी बनाना चाहती है और मस्जिद पे नमाज पढ़ाना चाहती है, और जो यहाँ कर्मा कोला उर्दू सिखाना चाहती है। बस यही उसका काम है। हाँ,
कुछ लोग यहाँ पर जो आए हुए हैं बजरंग दल के, उनसे भी हम बातचीत करते हैं, जिन्होंने इस केस में देखिए बहुत अहम भूमिका निभाई है। आइए भैया, क्योंकि कई सारे केस इस तरह के ये संज्ञान में लेकर आए, बातचीत भी की है। क्या हुआ था, ये सब कैसे गांव में चल रहा है ये खेल?
भैया ये मामला फूलपुर में ये काफ़ी दिन से लब जिहाद की नई नई गतिविधियों से नए नए तरीके से हिंदू लड़कियों को फंसाया जा रहा है और ये मामला पहली बार हाईलाइट हुआ है फूलपुर का। इससे पहले 2017 से पहले जब ये सरकार नहीं थी योगी जी की, उससे पहले लगातार हर महीने 2-3 लड़कियां पक्का गायब हो जाती थी। अभी क्या है कि मामले को लब जिहाद की ओर न ले जाकर ये मामला केरल लेकर गई लड़की को, और लड़की यहीं की रहने वाली है। परिवार आप देख ही रहे हैं कितनी गरीब परिवार से बिलोंग कर रहे हैं।
लोग ये भी कह रहे हैं कि अभी इस्लामिक गतिविधियां बहुत तेजी से इस फूलपुर के गांव में चल रही हैं। कई और बच्चियां टारगेट पे थी, कई लोग यहां पर टारगेट पे थे। अब आगे इस केस में जांच कहां तक पहुंचेगी देखने वाली बात होगी। विजय संतोष के साथ सागर मिश्रा, रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क, प्रयागराज।
Getting in some exclusive news on the political front now as the chief ministerial race in Karnataka heats up. Very interesting turn of events. Exclusive details we've picked up. It appears now that the man who batted for DK Shivakumar as the chief minister has been showcaused by DK Shivakumar himself. What an irony. DK Shivakumar is the Karnataka Congress chief as of today, and he has decided to showcause the Congress MLA, give a showcause notice to the Congress MLA Iqbal Hussain, who by the way hinted that DK Shivakumar could be the chief minister in the next few months. And the party has admitted that this has caused confusion, embarrassment with the party, where even Kharge said that Kharge himself, who proved that he was a rubber stamp, because Kharge himself went to the media and said, listen, the high command will take a decision. So if Kharge is the Congress so-called president and he's not the high command, then it's certainly embarrassing. It's caused a lot of confusion and embarrassment within the party. And they call it a violation of party discipline. He's been directed to submit an explanation within 1 week. So that's a breaking news development that we had from the state of Karnataka. Iqbal Hussain, the Congress MLA who made that comment saying DK Shivakumar will be the chief minister, has now received a show cause notice, and he gets 1 week time to explain his statement. Irony, the man who said will be the chief minister has issued a show cause notice to him. And that's it on this edition of This Is Exclusive. Trending coming up next, and 3 big debates with Arnab, including at 8 p.m, the custodial killing in Tamil Nadu. How the police in Tamil Nadu, drunk on power, killed a temple guard. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be on your channel, and particularly on the digital part of your amazing network. I've served in several Islamic countries, including several years in Sudan, which had Sharia law when I was there. And somebody even issued a fatwa against me, whatever that meant. Question here is, what is this fellow, this Ayatollah, Grand Ayatollah, whatever titles they give each other, Supreme Ayatollah, or Major Ayatollah, or Captain Ayatollah, or General Ayatollah, I don't know what they go around doing with themselves. What has he said against Netanyahu and President Trump? Has he said they should be killed? No, if he's the enemy of Allah, does it mean that somebody should take a pot shot at him? I'm not quite sure what it means. If they're trying to be oversmart, these jokers in Iran who have issued whatever they have issued against this guy. See, my understanding of fatwa I spoke to many Islamic scholars, and I've spoken again to them. A fatwa is a religious opinion, an opinion on a religious issue. For example, can I wear a striped shirt? And somebody might issue a fatwa saying, yes, it's legal in Islam. So it's a very complicated issue. But in recent times, we've been finding people issuing fatwas asking for the physical elimination of the people against whom the fatwa has been issued. This hadn't been done. In fact, funnily enough, it might amuse you, there used to be a fatwa against Coca-Cola also, because that drink is supposed to have gas or all kinds of things, and it uses some pigment or the other, uses something related to the pig, which is haram in Islam, so don't drink Coca-Cola. Then somebody issued a counter fatwa saying there's nothing wrong with that. Then there was the Ottoman chap when he was joining the war against the Allies in the First World War on the side of Germany. He got someone to issue a fatwa. So a fatwa normally would be issued by a mufti, a very qualified chap. Again, there's no list of fellows who can issue fatwas. Even Osama bin Laden issued a fatwa against somebody, and then somebody issued a fatwa against Osama bin Laden. So it became a bit of a joke over a period of time. My own feeling is that if the fatwa declares Trump to be the enemy of Allah, I think in the United States, having lived there for several years and going there every year, I don't think they'll even bother about it. Now, if some buffoon there thinks that this means that he has to physically harm the president of the United States, then of course it's a different matter altogether. But the result of this is going to be, and I'll tell you, till 2001, till 9/11, Islam was accepted as a religion, occasionally violent, but as one.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा.
रूंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं. रूंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड.
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
हर पल बनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Well, it's sad. And of course, it's now becoming the new common where we are seeing youngsters who look, completely fit, passing away suddenly. We cannot ignore that this rise has also been only after COVID infections and COVID pandemic. Number one. Number two, the point I want to say is anti-aging is basically a multi-pronged approach. Glutathione is the world's best known antioxidant. It is given for cancer patients so as to reduce the side effects of the chemotherapy agents. And the side effect of it is skin whitening and skin glow. It is not the main effect. So it is very, very good for health, and it cannot be fatal unless and until the product is counterfeit. The product is fake. It's not being injected in the right dosage, which can also hamper, which I feel the Indian government is high time should take action if, this is the fact, because I see a lot of gray market fake products in the market, but I don't think our Bollywood would actually fall prey to it. But yes, again, we must not ignore there are a lot of wellness centers where there is no doctor, and these wellness centers are generally run by business houses, so they may not even be guided correctly and maybe buying it only for better business. So that is one thing which needs to be checked. The world's number one anti-aging known factor currently, which is doing up the rounds with Barrick Johnson, etc., and Professor Sinclair in the US, is something called NAD drips. The NAD drips are being imported by certain people who can afford in India, but the ones in the market are generally fake. I, as a doctor, have had experience about a decade ago with NAD because that is very prominent in US. And in fact, even Elon Musk has his own brand of NAD supplements, which are doing very well last 7-8 years. But that is truly an anti-aging tablet, and NMNs and Barbicans we talk about. So those are anti-aging supplements which do not increase and do any kind of side effect. Again, if you're fasting or you're water fasting or you're intermittent fasting more than 16 hours, you cannot just take the supplement. You have to eat something and then take the supplement. So these are the basic facts and yarns, which of course only a doctor can give, not a wellness expert or a cosmetologist. I really don't think, again, dear, that this could have been fault of the Bollywood star, because she was so caring about herself, and she's so fit, beautiful, and such an unfortunate loss to the family. So I don't know what went wrong really for her. We may never know. But for others who are viewing this, please take this with a caution. Be alert and do not visit quacks. Try to do a consultation with a doctor if you're so keen for anti-aging, living long and living healthy. That's very important. I would say it has to be strictly under medical supervision.
God dead after custodial torture by Tamil Nadu police. AIADMK questions talent model of governance. Is it time to take action on excesses of police? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
From your smartphones to your smart televisions, the trending stories are always breaking the internet. US President Donald Trump and tech mogul Elon Musk are back at it. It's the latest episode of Trump versus Elon Musk. The keypad war has begun once again, and the netizens are just not having it. It has come down to warnings and even threats to deport Elon Musk. Meanwhile, in a heartwarming story, Indian doctors provided 100 prosthetic limbs to citizens of Afghanistan during a 5-day camp in Jaipur. On the other side, an Instagram post of Chris Gayle is making the waves for all the wrong reasons, though. It features him along with Vijay Mallya and Lalit Modi, a controversial post indeed. And we'll get you the reactions on that. Not just that, we have a Netflix and NASA collaboration coming together. Internet A cannot calm down on that. We'll get you this and a lot more on this edition of Trending. I am Rakshita Mishra with you. Let's get started. So it's been a month since the very dramatic and the very public feud that broke out between two most powerful and influential Americans. The infamous war between tech mogul Musk and US President Donald Trump. Now, what followed after the war was a very swindling peace treaty between the two. Apologies asked, mistakes accepted. A chilling cold water was poured over a very fiery hot war. All was well, or so it seemed. In a fresh round of verbal volleys, Trump slammed his former aide Elon Musk over his flagship spending legislation, the One Big Beautiful Bill. Trump threatened to cut government subsidies given to the tech entrepreneurs' companies. Now on your screens is the tweet. Donald Trump says that Musk, who was born in South Africa, should probably have to close up his shop and head back home if his administration cuts subsidies to his various companies such as Tesla and SpaceX.
Nothing, he's upset that he's losing his EV mandate, and he's very upset about things, but he could lose a lot more than that. I can tell you right now. Hey, Elon can lose a lot more than that. Nothing, he's upset that he's losing his EV mandate, and he's very upset about things, but he could lose a lot more than that. I can tell you right now. Hey, Elon can lose a lot more than that.
And Elon Musk, not the one to sit silent, responded shortly after, saying that the Republican leader should follow through on his threat and cut the subsidies given to his companies. I quote him, "I am literally saying, cut it all," unquote. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, Musk did not stop there. He even went on to say that if this insane spending bill passes, the American Party, the America Party, will be formed the next day. You heard that right. Donald Trump is warning against launching a new party of his own, and that would be called the America Party. At least for now, that's what he's saying. And with the Trump-Musk banter taking the center stage again, the internet is in splits, and we have a flood of reactions. One of the ex-user tweets, "Stop your whining, Elon. Give the president the benefit of the doubt." While another user tweets, "Did you ever consider that Trump might actually deport you back to South Africa after your fallout with him?" A third user went on to say, "Someone take Donald's phone and let him sleep for a bit." So there you have the netizens saying that they've had enough of this, that both of them should keep calm, especially Elon Musk. Remember, Elon Musk is being lectured on the platform he himself owns. That is the platform X, social media platform X. And of course, the threats continue from Donald Trump as well. So Donald Trump in the latest, remember, has said, when asked by reporters that about Elon Musk's deportation, he said, "Have to think about it." That's right. Donald Trump, in fact, has said, when asked about Trump, that he could be even considering that, as what he has insinuated. Listen in to what he said.
Now he's upset that he's losing.